everyone, it's Imogen and welcome back to Colouring Kid. I hope you're doing well. In today's video I'm going to be sharing my completed pages for the month of May and sharing what I hope to colour in the month of June. I am filming this a little bit early. Usually I would record the day before the 1st of every month, or maybe a day before that, but I'm filming quite a while in advance, just under a week or so, because I need to get all of the videos done so that they can be uploaded whilst we're away. So hopefully you don't notice too much of a difference in my schedule. But yeah, I'm going to be sharing what I've coloured and what I hope to colour in June. And I actually managed to get a lot done this month. Even though I had exams at the beginning of May, they are all done, and I ended up having most of my exams in the first week of study leave, so I had the second week off. And yeah, it was really nice. And now that exams are done, the only thing that I'm really working towards is my piano diploma in July, which is going to take a lot out of me, but that's practical, and so it's not a written exam. So in some ways I've still got loads of work to do for college, but I'm not working towards exams over these, next few months, which is nice. So yeah, I'm going to be sharing what I've done. So I don't know exactly how many I've done, maybe 7, and then a small thing as well, and then a couple of whips as well. So I'm just going to get started. The first thing that I did was this, and this is a postcard from Rita Berman's Minorizer Europa. There's a lot of Rita Berman, by the way, this month. I've coloured 4 things including this. So this was a really quick and easy one. I've said quite a few times before on my completed pages, I just sometimes have the urge to use markers, put some colour down, not really worry about the result. And that's exactly what I did with this. Nothing fancy at all with this. I have 2 small sets of Copics that I found at TK Maxx for a really reduced price. One's a set of 6, and I think it's a kind of basic colour set. You've got your pink, yellow, green, blue, purple, something else. Oh, and another blue. There's 2 blues, and then a skin set which has 5 colours, I think. So I just used those and played around with them. I love the brush nibs on them. And then I went over with some of my Pentel Hybrid Dual Metallic pens and outlined nearly everything. I just don't use them enough in my books because I use glitter gel pens a little bit. It really depends what book, because some books I have a set sort of embellishment that I will use for them, and sometimes they transfer. It depends what the paper's like. But yeah, I had a lot of fun doing it and just not really worrying about what the result was. So yeah, that was really fun to do. And then this is also a fun sort of experimenting page. This is from the Ruby Charm Colours Colouring Journal, volume 3, and this is by Susan Carlson, but she goes by Ruby Charm Colours. Now, I was given this by my lovely friend Sue, and I was hoping to get around to either this or the Nature Mandalas book that she sent me, and I did get around to this, and this was a really fun thing to experiment with. I wanted to try one of the black background pages and just see how it went, try it out, not really worry about the result, and I had a lot of fun. So I did this one, and I just used a few Prismacolors and just, yeah, played around with it. I was going for sort of a grey bunny, and I like the fact that the white outlines are still there. Didn't use many colours either. It was just very fun to try and sort of see how the fur would come out. The only thing I really struggled with was trying to still add shadows in. I used some really dark colours, and because it's on the black, I guess it just didn't work, and probably because of the wax build-up as well. But that's the only thing I struggled with. So maybe next time I just wouldn't put as much white or grey in those areas. But overall, I really like how it works. It doesn't bother me at all that it's on Create Swift paper. I thought they worked absolutely fine. And for the nature of this sort of thing, where I'm just playing around with it anyway, it doesn't really matter. And then I used some neon gel pens as well, just to outline. So all of the green outline was the green gel pen going over the white lines. And yeah, just really fun. And just I love doing this sort of thing sometimes where I'm not spending hours and hours on a page. Don't get me wrong, I love the results of those pages and I have fun no matter what page I do, but sometimes it is really just nice to you know, do a page quickly and not, you know, worry about it being the best that it's going to be. It's just, I've just loved doing it and trying something new out, and that's what I'm really excited for with this book, because I haven't tried anything like that before with the black. I've tried pages with black backgrounds like the Maria Chol books, but not where the actual image is a black background and all you've got is the white line. So I really like the inverted effect. So yeah, it's very fun to try. I've just realised I've got the camera slightly higher than usual, so I may need to bring it up a little bit when I show you the embellishments on my pages. Okay, so the next book I have is the Miniature Enchanter Forest by Joanna Basford. I've done 2 pages in this book. The first one I did, I'll show you, is actually behind the second one, because this was a whip, so you would have seen this if you watched my last video. And I've finally made loads of my my bookmarks now, so I can actually use them in my videos, because for a while I hadn't been using them because I didn't really have any made because my shop wasn't open. But now I can actually use them, and I'm very happy because I've got quite a few finished pages, so it makes sense. So yes, this one was using the Faber-Castell Classic pencils. I mentioned when I was doing this page or starting this book that I just wanted to use them. Again, not really worried too much about the results with these pages. It's more just, you know, it's a miniature version of the book. It's just about having fun, completing pictures fairly quickly, but still really enjoying the process. So that's what this one was, and I really loved it. And I went for sort of a minimal colour palette, more of an autumnal colour palette. I've done quite a lot of spring summer stuff this month, so I wanted to do something a bit different and just try it out. I used some Stabilo and sat the fine liners as well, because there were some areas that were just so small and I thought I don't really want to bother shading that, so I left it. I mean, there's no embellishments on this, I just left it how it was, and I really like it. And going back to budget pencils, I really enjoyed for a change, because I do find that I have to use them differently to the pencils that I use now, but in a nice sort of way. I you know, there's not as much white space. I can layer them a little bit. I can layer them as much as I like, actually. I find I can get quite a few layers out of them, and when I went back to them I was surprised at how well they worked. So they were the pencils I started out with a lot. I had a 24 set when I was really young, and I've still got those somewhere, but the 60 set's brilliant, and it's so ridiculously inexpensive. I mean, you can get them for about £15 on Amazon, so if you know someone that wants to start adult colouring, or you're a beginner yourself, I would really recommend them, because they're not you know, they're not going to be as soft as Prismacolors, but they're good, and they are a very good budget version of the polychromos in my opinion. So yeah, they're really fun to use, and I really like them. So that's that one. And then this is the other one that I have done. Now this was a buddy colour with my buddy Rabia. So it was really fun doing this buddy colour with her. She did the title page in her Enchanter Forest book, which is slightly different to my title page. My title page is taken from one of the other pages in the book. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to find it. This one. So it's an altered version of this page with the title in it, so that's what I decided to do for mine. But we still decided to buddy up because we're still both doing the title pages of our versions of the book, but I wanted to work in the miniature one rather than the normal version, because this was the one that I had been working on with the squirrel. So yeah, again, I used the same pencils. I used Zest It Blend, but I did put my Zest It Blend into one of my dry Derwent blender pens. I found that worked really well. It gives you more control and just made everything look really smooth. And even though they are budget pencils, they break down really well with the blender, and I found they work great. So that was all I used for it, and then a little bit of white gel pen as well. So I've got to use some of the blues and things for this one. I like the pink and yellow combination with the green. I like doing pink and green together. So yeah, another really fun one. And thank you so much for buddying with me, Rabia. It's really fun. And yeah, enjoyed doing this one. Again, it was just something very sort of mindless to do, because it wasn't the most complicated page, but also at the same time I was just enjoying layering the background a bit using the blender. And the paper's excellent. I think I mentioned with this, just because it's a miniature version, it doesn't mean that it's any less you know, quality than Joanna's other books. So brilliant. That's that one. So I have 3 Rita Berman pages to show you. As I said, if you like Rita Berman, this is definitely the video, because this is probably the most amount of pages I've ever done in a month from her, including that postcard as well. So I'll show you my Minorizer Europa first, because this was a whip from last month. I barely started it last month, but I finished it really quickly. And yeah, this was to go along with the picture that I did. This must have been April. Was it April? I think it might have been. I think it was. But I coloured this first, and then I coloured this one. I have to say I prefer my heart. I really like this, but I think they go really well as a pair. I think if they were separate, as you know, not a double spread, I definitely prefer this one. But yeah, I like how they are together. That kind of has happened with all of them actually. I coloured this one first out of the 2, and I prefer that one. But I guess it just gets to a point where, I mean, I love colouring her stuff, but I just want to see it finished as a double spread, you know what I mean? So there were some things in this where I was like, oh, I just want to get it done. But I tried not to rush it, because I know what happens when I rush stuff. It just doesn't turn out as well as I want. So I used all the same colours, and I have the colour palette for this in one of my colour combinations videos. I think it was the March/April one. So all of the colours were the same apart from a few things. So I gave all the colours for the Parisian houses and the curtain. That might have been it. But I used Black Widow pencils and a few luminants. And then embellishments, I've got Jelly Roll Glaze Clear, Jelly Roll Gold Metallic, white gel pen, and my Stardust Fine Tech paint as well. So yeah, love them together, and I'm looking forward to doing my next page, which I will share with you in what I hope to colour for June. That's that one. Then I have Die Welt under de Lupe Zulande by Rita Berman, and this was a buddy colour with the lovely Shelley. And I will put her channel in the description for you if I remember. She's done so well with her channel, and I absolutely love her colouring and her videos. I initially obviously found her on Instagram and was friends with her there, and then yeah, she started her channel and she's done a brilliant job already. And yeah, I was very excited to do a buddy colour with her, because I'd seen she'd done quite a lot in Rita Berman's books, and I love Rita Berman, she loves Rita Berman, so it's brilliant that we could do a buddy colour together. So yeah, thank you so much for buddying with me, Shelley. So this one was the picture that I chose, and Shelley sent a few pictures, and it was the one when I saw it where I could sort of envision some of the colours that I was going to use already. So the thing that grabbed my attention initially was the teapot and the teacups, because I thought, brilliant, I can use Emma Bridgewater colour palettes. Emma Bridgewater, I love the company. I've used their things several times for references. I have so many of their mugs, and I really recommend searching them. I just love it. I love it. So the colours I took were from the Spotted teapot, and we have lots of the mugs with these. So I drew all of the spots in on the cups. And then the honey is also inspired by the Bon Maman company. So their honey, most of the tops of their jars are red checkered, but the honey has a blue checkered top to it. So I decided to do that. I wanted to do a tablecloth that was also sort of a checkered tartan pattern. Didn't want it to be really dark red with black in, like I know you can get. I just wanted it to be quite light, and yes, it is meant to be slightly diagonal. I did that on purpose. I didn't just have a wonky line. I purposely slightly made it off centre just because I wanted it to line up with the lines that Rita had given, and the lines weren't straight, if you know what I mean, because I think they're all, yeah, slightly with the teapot and the honey, like how they're lined up. So I decided to just follow them, and yeah, I really like the result. I also put some circles in the background and did sort of a faint bokeh effect. I'm not sure if you're going to be able to see that, but it's quite faint. I was worried I might ruin the page, so I decided to just do a faint one, blend it in with the yellow, and I was really pleased with that as well. So the bokeh is pink to kind of echo the flowers, but with bits of green to echo the leaves, and then yeah, the yellow, and that was all blended with a blender pen as well. And then yeah, just did the other bits, and again the embellishments are exactly the same as the other Rita page with the white gel pen, Stardust paint and the gold and all of that. I did use a gold fine tech as well, watered it down a lot and added it to the tea, so I thought that would be quite fun. But I loved doing this page, and actually once I started going with it, it came together. I was a bit worried because I was using quite bright colours, well, bright for me at least. I know they're not the brightest colours. I've still somehow managed to make it quite pastel, but the fact that it's red, yellow, green, blue, which are quite bright colours, I like the fact that I've still managed to sort of get different effects, different versions of the same colours, if that makes sense. So yeah, I'm just very happy with this one, and I was so happy to come back to this as well, because the last page I did was this one, just back in December. So I'm always happy to do a Rita page, but I was really glad to get back to this one, and I actually have another buddy colour lined up in this book for next month as well. So yeah, overall very chuffed with this page, and the vision that I had for it ended up turning out how I wanted it to. So that was a relief, because I started with the background and the tablecloth. I was a little bit worried because I was drawing things in and didn't really have a clue what I was doing. So yeah, really enjoyed that one. So that's Die Welt unter Lupe Zulande by Rita Berman. So then we have probably my favourite page from the month, which actually was a page that I didn't include, or at least I don't think I included it in my What I Hope to Colour. I think I mentioned that it was a page I really liked in this book, but it wasn't one that I knew I was doing this month. But I really liked it, and actually I did it throughout my exams. I just did a little bit each morning. I find just doing a bit of colouring before something like that just helps. So the page that I did was my first double spread of the year as well. I rarely do double spreads. It's this one, and I'm just so thrilled with it. I think overall this year it's probably one of my favourites that I've coloured this year as well. It's just one that I'm quite proud of. I started off with all of the water, and usually if I was attempting a page like this and there was a lot of repetition with all of the water, it would be something that would, you know, I'd find quite boring, and I did not. I didn't feel bored at all once doing this page. It just was so fun, and going through each part of the water and colouring with it, I just loved it. And it makes me so happy, because usually, I mean, if I was colouring this a couple of years ago, I would have rushed through it, tried to get all of the water done so quickly so that I could move on to all of the elements, and I just thoroughly enjoyed sitting there with a few colours and doing it, which for me says a lot about Rita's work, and you know, says a lot about how much I've grown actually, because tackling a double page spread for me a while ago would have just been about rushing to get it finished as quickly as possible, and I didn't feel that with this at all. So I used Black Widow pencils exclusively. I didn't use luminance actually this time, and I started, as I said, with the water, did all of the blue backgrounds, then did the pink background, and then started filling things in from left to right, and then it all came together. And then embellishments, I used a blue Clear Fine Tech and then a blue Posca for all of the water bits. For the waves, like the foamy bit of the waves, I used my Clear Fine Tech Stardust, and then went over with white gel pen. I didn't want all of these water bits to be white gel pen, because then there'd be just too much white and it was going into the white background, so I just decided to leave it. And then I used the gold fine tech on all of the koi fish, and again I used some bright colours that I wouldn't normally use, all the oranges and yellows and things. So that was good for me to try, and I used a yellow Posca for accents and things here and there, my gold gel pen, other gel pens and things. So yeah, just very chuffed with it, and just pleased that I could tackle a double page spread and be pleased with the result. And the thing that, my tip, if I can give one tip about the water, I've shown this colour palette before, but I add yellow to it for all the highlights, and I just find it makes it pop even more rather than using white or a lighter blue. Just something quite interesting that I tried for it, and I've used it many times before in Rita's books because I like it. So yeah, all of these combinations for various things, I think I wrote down combinations for a few of the flowers and stuff like that, will be in my May combinations. So yeah, that's that one, and really pleased with it, and I can't wait to do more in this book. I'm hoping to do one whilst we're away in Devon, so that will be really fun. Maybe even a buddy colour with my cousin Rosie. So that's that book. So they're the Rita books. And then my final page is from I Believe in Fairies by Clara Markova. Again, I can't remember if this was one that I specifically said I wanted to do. I know I said I wanted to do one in this because I'm trying to do one a month, but I don't think I had actually said what the page was. This was in a Colouring Conjuries video that I did showing how I use reference photos as inspiration. This was based on Doc from Snow White, so I shared how I picked the colours for him, and then I used just references in general for the mushrooms and things like that to find what I wanted to do for the colour palette. And this was all Prismacolor, and I hadn't used my Prismacolor for a while, just exclusively as a set, so I really enjoyed doing that. I think the last one that I did with all Prismacolor was this one. Yeah, I used all Prismacolor for that one. But I wanted to do one that was still summery, but it didn't have any flowers, and I was quite happy about that because I've just done quite a few flowers on my other pages. So it was nice to do something different, a different background colour as well. I love the background colour. I've got that written down to share in my combos. Hi everyone, sorry I didn't have quite enough time to finish this segment of the video yesterday, so it's the next day, and apologies if the lighting isn't quite the same either. But yeah, overall I really enjoyed doing this page. Can't remember if I included what embellishments and things I used, but it's exactly the same, although I've really been liking the paint pens from Graby, actually using them more than the white gel pen because they're very opaque. And I did an effect that I've done before on the hat where I block colour it and then I go over with the gel pen so the colour still comes, sorry not the gel pen, the paint pen, the colour is still shown underneath but it's predominantly white, and that's exactly what I did for his beard as well. I coloured it grey and then went over with the white, and I'll definitely be using that effect again because I really like it. But yeah, overall I'm really chuffed with how the mushroom came out, the feather especially in the background, and just overall using a reference image because I hadn't done that for a little while. It's something a bit different, gets me out of my comfort zone, and because I use Prismacolors it really didn't take me that long to do, but I still thoroughly enjoyed it and tried to keep to a minimal sort of colour palette. I was quite impressed with myself that I didn't use any of the kind of standard colours I'd use, like pastel purple or pink. I know I use this red colour, but I tried to really condense what colours I was using, and I think something about doing the videos, the Colouring Conjuries videos, do help because I'm talking through the palette that I'm choosing and thinking about it out loud whilst going through it. Somehow seems to help me. And yeah, I used some colours I wouldn't normally use as much, like these oranges and things like that, so that was fun. And yeah, I really did enjoy it. So they are all of the pictures that I have completed for May. I will probably end up filming the what I hope to colour another day because I don't have enough time right now, but you will see it all in one video. So largely the books that you've seen from my completed pages, quite a few of them will be featured again in what I hope to colour, because I'm really liking these books at the moment and want to do a few more pages, and I've got some buddy colours lined up and things like that. So yeah, I will see you in a second. And it's another new day. I have really struggled to find time this week to be able to film things, but you know, it's all in one video anyway, so hopefully that's all right. So I'm going to be sharing what I hope to colour. As always, I'm probably not going to get around to all of these. May, to be honest, was kind of an exception. I did get round to most of the things that I hoped to do, but I have quite a few buddy colours and some books that I would really like to work in this month, so we'll see how I do. You know, I'm always optimistic, but there are so many things that I want to work on and I just don't have the time, so I kind of have to pick and choose based on what I'm feeling. But also I really do want to prioritise the buddy colours, because I really appreciate, you know, people reaching out and wanting to do them, or, you know, when I've asked if I can do buddy colours with people, you know, them saying yes. So I try to focus on those, but also not get bogged down and forcing myself to do them if, you know, I'm not feeling it. And we all have that with pages, so I like to just give myself options. And as you know, sometimes I just steer clear of some of the things that I've shown and I pick a different book to work on. So the first book I have is The Flower Year by Layla Dooley. I'm still working on the nameplate page. I've been very slow with that, but I've really been enjoying it, and this is a whip at the moment. I did do more since last time I shared it. I'm doing it with my mum, so the peacock butterfly we did together, and then we started the frame bits, and when I finish it I will show you hers as well. I'm not sure if I'm going to continue working necessarily on this page at the same time as her. She doesn't mind if I go ahead with some of the pages, but yeah, I just haven't come back to it yet, and I don't want to force myself to. I really like this picture and I don't want to ruin it. So that's a current whip. And then I have a buddy colour with my lovely friend Jay, who's just recently come back to YouTube, so definitely check her out. She is Happy Colourist Jay, and I'm very excited that she has. We are going to be doing the Painted Lady Butterfly, which is a really nice one to just ease, you know, ease us into the book. I don't know yet whether I'll finish the nameplate page before I do this one, or if I focus on this one first, because it's a buddy colour, so we'll see. The only limitations I do have this month, we are going away for the first week, so I'm only taking a few books, and I'm definitely I don't want to take this one because just of, you know, the cover is really fragile and my other one is just absolutely ruined, so I don't want to take this because of that. I'm mostly going to be taking Rita Berman, I think, and my I Believe in Fairies postcards, so chances are I'll be working in those if I have time. But yeah, that's the buddy colour that I have planned in this one. Aiming for end of June if I can, so that is a priority page. And then the other whip I have is from the Wild Mouse Yuri's Journey sketch. I think that's roughly what it translates to. This is by Makiko Inotome, and I'm doing a buddy colour with Kathy in this book. And I'm so sorry, Kathy, I haven't actually sent you a progress picture of this yet, but hi if you're watching. And this is what I have managed to do so far. I've written down all the colour combinations for the flowers and things. The flowers and the leaves down here are exactly the same as what I used on this side, so I knew what the colour combination was for that anyway. And then I did some daisies and forget-me-nots. I just need to continue the frame. Again, I'm aiming for end of June. This one has been taking me a little bit longer. I'm not sure if Kathy has started hers yet, but yeah, I definitely want to aim to get the frame done and hopefully the whole picture. I mean, this is I've only got 2 whips at the moment, the ones that you've seen, so I'm doing pretty well in terms of current whips. I've got some long-term whips which I haven't shared for a while, but these are my current ones. And yeah, again, I think I'm probably not going to take this book away with me, just because the size of it and the fact that it's, yeah, not the most easy book to transport. I'm just a little bit worried that it may get bashed, so I think I might leave this one. We'll see. I mean, I'm probably not going to get much time anyway, so I'm not going to take too many books, but this is definitely a page that I hope to finish by the end of June. Okay, so then we have I Believe in Fairies postcards. As always, I'm aiming to do one of these every month. Doesn't always happen, that's fine. I just do one if I'm feeling it and if I have time, and sometimes I don't. So I really like how this one turned out, and I would really like to do another one. Again, it depends if I'm feeling it. I may do one whilst we're away, or at least start one. I will be limited in terms of what pencils I take. I think I'm just going to take my Black Widows and Luminance, because that's what I use in my Rita Berman books. The Luminance work really well on here. Black Widows do work well, slightly less so. The ones that I did tend to be a more pastel look, but they do work well. And actually, this one that I did was with Black Widows, and that's not all pastels, so they definitely do work. And there's some really, really gorgeous ones in here that would be perfect. I love this one. I've said that before, but I don't have a specific one that I'm looking to work in out of this. I just, you know, this is always on my list, so hopefully one out of there, and I'll almost be halfway. And then the other book that I'm always continuously working on is Minorizer Europa by Rita Berman, and I'm so excited for her new book as well. It's going to be amazing. The Journey Through Asia, I think it's what it translates to, and I'm very excited to use different colour palettes, and I think it's going to be so good, because this book is absolutely amazing. So I have a buddy colour with Kay in this book, and we are going to be doing this one. I don't actually know why I've got paper behind it because I haven't started it yet, but this will probably be one of the books that I take away with me. Whether or not I manage to start it is another question entirely, but yes, this is one that again I'm aiming to complete by the end of June. So all the buddy colours basically are my priority for the end of this month. So this one I'm thinking, well, I've called it Parallel Worlds. So this is going to have a light blue sky, this is going to have a dark night sky, and this will be a dark wintry sky but with more grey in it, I think. So I want them all to have different you know, scenes, and I haven't decided yet whether the opposing page will be in the same colour palette or not. Thus far I have used the same colour palette on the opposite pages. I'm not sure whether I necessarily will for these, just because they don't necessarily need to go together as a double page spread. So, and plus it's one of my favourites and I don't want to ruin it. So we'll see, but I'm very much looking forward to doing this one. So yeah, that's with Kay. And then another buddy colour I have is in Die Welt under the Lupe Zulande by Rita Berman. A lot of Rita Berman, as you can see. I know I've just done a picture in here with Shelley, but I have really been just loving her books at the moment, and I'm going to be doing a buddy colour with Michelle in this one, and I'm very pleased to get back to this book because, as I said, the last page I did was December, before I did the buddy colour with Shelley, so it's very nice to actually be able to work in it more. And we're going to be doing this one, which is a lovely simple motif. I really like this one, and again, nice one that will be really lovely to do and probably won't take too long, but I still take my time with all of her pages. I haven't decided yet how I'm going to tackle the background. I don't really use chalk pastel in her books anymore. I tend to just do pencil backgrounds. This is all pencil and then blended, so I don't know, I might just do sort of a haze effect maybe, but I'm looking forward to doing that one. And it's one that I did do in my last copy, and there are definitely things that I'd change about it. So yeah, that's that one. So they're all the buddy colours. And then moving on to some books that I would really like to work in but may not get round to. So the first one is Nature Mandalas by Melpomene Chatstepanigitu. I've shown this one before, and I didn't really have a specific page to work on necessarily. I have some favourites definitely, but I haven't, you know, set a specific page to do. I do really like the feathers at the beginning, and there's a mushroom page that I really like. They just are very detailed, so I need to figure out a way to tackle them. And as I said, I'm not really sure how I'm going to do that yet. So I'm not sure if I'll take the approach of just more doing it for fun and not worrying about shading, or whether I will use pencils and fine liners and things like that. So yeah, I haven't quite decided yet. They are one-sided, so I do have that option, which is brilliant. But I'm slightly worried that alcohol markers may bleed, so that's something I need to consider. But yeah, it's such a gorgeous book, and I was sent this by Sue, so I really do want to get around to this one if I can. And if not, it will definitely be soon, because the pages are perfect for this time of year. And then we have Bourse de Poils, and this is the art therapy book by Hachette Heroes. And I can't remember if this was in my last video, but I didn't get around to it. It'd be really nice if I could get around to it. They're quite simple pages, but I think Black Widows would work really well in here. Just something really simple, and they are really, really sweet pages. There's so many as well. And there are some that are more scenes, and then others that are kind of a wallpaper effect, which I actually really like, because yes, they're wallpaper pages, but they're not repeating patterns. Well, not repeating too often. So this one, for example, you've still got different dogs, and you know, all of the bones are different. They've, you know, they haven't just been copied. So yeah, I really do love it. And there's so many different seasonal things in this as well. So there are some perfect summer ones, which would be great. So it's just a case of whether I have time to get around to it. I really, really do love this book, and I've been wanting to get around to it for a while because I shared it in my haul a while ago. And then I'm going to finish with some Rita Berman. So I know that I've already got a couple of books that I want to work in because they're buddy colours. But I did mention when I got, I think I mentioned it, was it February or March haul? I think it may have been the March haul. When I was sorting out giveaway stuff, one of the books came slightly damaged, and I mentioned it to Amazon, and they sent me a new copy for free and refunded me as well, the money to me as well. So I ended up getting a free copy of my summer Spatial gown. So I think I said then I'm going to be giving the spare copy that I have to my cousin Rosie. So hopefully we will get around to a buddy colour whilst we're away in Devon. Can't, you know, necessarily guarantee that we would finish one, or, you know, if she doesn't want to do one, that's absolutely fine. But I thought I would give her the option because she usually asks to do stuff with me. So yeah, it's just the tiniest bit at the back that's slightly bashed, but apart from that, it's absolutely fine. But I didn't want to give it as a giveaway prize slightly damaged. So yeah, such a pretty book. And I think with this, I haven't had decided on a set page, purely because I would really like Rosie to pick, and I will just go with whatever because I love all of Rita's pages. Of course, the only one that I can't do is the one that I've done already, which I did, and I've shown you in this video. So yeah, I mean, I love these, and I think depending on if it was a single or double spread, you know, we probably could finish them. I'll definitely take some pens with me because I think that's what Rosie prefers to use, and I think this will take them. I think it definitely will. May ghost a tiny bit, but not really. So yeah, that's sort of a extra buddy colour, I guess, that I'm hopefully planning on doing, which should be really fun. And the final book, which is very unlikely that I will get around to, is Mein Frühling Spaziergang by Rita Berman. I feel more in the summer mood now, even though technically it's not even summer yet. But I do really love this book, and if I got the chance to do another page in it before I properly move on to the summer book, then I'd really like to. But my aim with these was to do one every 3 months, and I've already done that with this and the summer one, so any more pages are a bonus really. But I love the one that I did, and I just really like to do some more. And there are some that are clearly meant to be Easter and early spring pages, but then there are some that could definitely be more summery. I mean, that's the sort of thing that's perfect. I mean, I'm not sure I'd tackle another double page spread, but you know, even simple motifs like that would be great. And even if they were long-term whips, that's absolutely fine. It just depends what I'm feeling. So that's always an option. But yeah, that's everything that I have to share with you. I really hope you enjoyed this video, and as always, I really appreciate your feedback. I know that over the past couple of months I've been merging the videos together, and it seems to be okay for you all, but it really does help me out actually having this new format where I share my completed pages and what I hope to colour, just because it takes me less time, because otherwise I have to film 2 separate videos and then upload them separately and edit them and stuff. And also I think it does kind of make sense because I'm the sort of colourist that does go back to the same books over and over again. So actually sharing them consecutively in the videos to me kind of makes sense. So yeah, I hope it's okay doing this from now on. So this will be going up as usual on the 1st of June, the Wednesday, and then my haul video for May will be going up on Saturday the 4th. So hopefully you won't notice any difference in the scheduling because it's exactly the same as what it would usually be. And then I'll be back to hopefully once a week, if not maybe the odd extra video after that. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all in my next video. Take care everyone, bye.